Good morning. It's morning here, as you can see by my hair, which I'm actually loving the volume. I don't usually get that. But I did want to show up this morning because I just had this urge in me to lead a little meditation. And the beauty in that is that I can show up whenever I want because I have this phone available to me, which I'm very grateful for. And the other beauty is I can show up however. And that's something that I'm finding very freeing right now, is just we all get to be who we are. And I know we're not necessarily seeing each other in person, but I do feel that we're connecting, and it truly means a lot to me. Comments I'm receiving about people doing my videos is so heartwarming, and I've been doing some live videos through a studio that I teach at in Montreal, Yoga Via Montréal, using the Zoom platform. So I get to sometimes see little squares of people joining along with me, which again, super heartwarming. I'm almost near tears every Shavasana or every time we close the class at the end, because I just feel the sense of community that is so needed right now. So with that said, let's grab a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you. I've set up this little blanket station here to make myself cozy. These blankets will be washed before classes resume at the marina, I promise. If you're comfortable sitting on the floor, go ahead. If you prefer couch, bed, or even a chair, especially if your hips or knees are sore, chair is perfect. And before we land in our meditation, today's going to be a bit of a moving meditation. But before we land, let's get some wiggles out. I like to call them wiggles, but it just means we move however the body feels it needs. I've been super lucky to be sleeping well lately, but my back is sore. So that's okay. It just means I think I've been pretty solid throughout the night still. All right, so let's come to a place of stillness, mostly stillness. There can always be little movements. Let your hands rest wherever it feels good. I have a tendency when I sit and don't think about it, I have this little lean forward that happens. I've noticed it when I've had a mirror beside me, so it might not be the case for you, but I'm gonna shift back a little bit. That's actually where I'm most aligned. So sometimes we just have to kind of play with that space. Let's take a few breaths together. Eyes open or closed. Breathe in through the nose, out of the mouth. And again, a deep breath in, root through your seat, rise up. Let it go. Final breath. We are not in a rush. Do it slow. Let it come all the way out. Find your natural rhythm. See what it is right now for you. How are you breathing? Maybe we will naturally slow it down just by sitting and stopping and being here together. But lately there might be a bit of a shallow breath going on, so just check in with that. See if you can find any more ease in the way you breathe. Keep it really gentle. Just take a moment in quiet and stillness, tuning in with the breath. Feel it going through your nose. Feel it enter your body. Don't force it to go anywhere. Just let it go. Let it flow. Feel it as it exits your body, this constant wave, this constant flux in and out. And then we're going to start with some tiny little movements. So you can even begin with the head, just letting it sway side to side. The shoulders might join. Just start to notice. Now we tune a bit more in with the body. See how the hips are doing, the neck. Feel free to move it a little bit forward and back. So don't think too much about it right now. Just move, keep it gentle. And if stillness is actually speaking to you this morning, then just stay at center. It's beautiful, it's perfect. So as we begin to check in with the body a little bit more, and to encourage something that's not usually encouraged in a meditation, what's happening in the thoughts? I suppose that is encouraged because it is a practice of checking in, of tuning in. But what I guide you to think about is what thoughts have been consuming you lately, what has been taking up space in your head, that has been feeling possibly a bit heavy. Maybe you haven't been feeling any heaviness, and that's beautiful. Just acknowledge that space, that freedom you have. But if there is a bit that's weighing you down, tune into what those thoughts actually are. What feelings do they give you in your body? Some things that have come up lately: fear, anxiety, worry, uncertainty. It's a big one. Instability. So these are not words that we often want to bring up when we're trying to calm ourselves through something like a meditation. But I think it's important to pinpoint, to say, I see you, fear. I see you, uncertainty. I see that you're there, that you're living in me right now. But you don't control me. My heart controls me. My body controls me. My soul. That fear, it's not in charge of you. So we just have little conversations and we release. They might not go away completely, but we say, I see you, I let you go. I see you, I know you exist. I release. Breathe it out. So for the next few breaths, the next few moments, continue either with this movement, and it can get pretty big. If you're feeling like, yes, I gotta get this out of my head, feel free to move your head around, shake it out. Or if you're feeling like stillness is the way to go, to find that release, bring yourself to there. I'm gonna give you just a moment to breathe, to be, to acknowledge, and hopefully breath by breath, to let go, even just a little bit. Three more full breath cycles. Notice the breath. Notice the release, even just of the exhale. See what can be carried out with it. Eventually make your way back to stillness. Take a breath once you're there. Breathe it all the way out. Place your hands on your head, eyes open or closed once again. Say, thoughts, I acknowledge you. I release you. Place your hands over your heart. Say to yourself, this is where I choose to live from. Day after day, it's a choice. Where do we want to live from? Where does it feel better? Take 3 more breaths. Feel your chest. Press into your hands. Feel your heart. Feel the beauty that resides inside here. Take 1 more deep breath. Breathe it out. Let your eyes flutter open. So, something that's been a real big point for me lately that I bring up when I'm teaching both kids and adults is we're allowed to feel what we feel. So I hope that didn't bring you to a place of stirring up the anxiety or worry. My hope was that we can acknowledge, we know it's there, but we need to pinpoint it. If we leave it in our subconscious, it creates bigger stories, bigger worries than they might actually be. So if we can pinpoint and say, I see you there. You don't need to live with me right now. I don't need you today in this moment. I'm going to stop and breathe. I'm going to feel my heart beating. I'm going to check in with my community and with those I love, especially if I'm feeling low, because we're all there to support you. We're not alone. That's the beautiful thing. That's what we're realizing too. We're in this together. I'm so grateful for all of you. Namaste.